The beauty of basketball, where giants clash and narratives unfold. Today, we dive into a tale of two teams on diverging paths. The Houston Rockets are flying high, their confidence soaring after clipping the wings of the Memphis Grizzlies. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks are grounded, recovering from a rough landing against the Phoenix Suns. Let's dissect the drama. Picture this: Houston bursts out of the gate against Memphis with a 45-point first quarter. That's not just a statement, that's a declaration of dominance. Alperen Sengun, the maestro, orchestrates with 32 points and 14 rebounds. Jalen Green, a symphony of movement, adds 27, while Fred VanVleet conducts with precision, dropping 22 points. Their reward: a third consecutive win and a firm grip on second place in the Western Conference. What's the secret sauce? Defense. The Rockets haven't allowed more than 115 points in their last 15 games. Opponents are shooting just 44.3%, and they're scoring the fewest fast break points in the league. It's a fortress, and Sengun is its king. His 24 double-doubles this season scream consistency, while Green's streak of 22 or more points in 5 straight games ignites their offensive firepower. Now, let's pivot to Atlanta, where the Hawks are struggling to steady their flight. A disappointing 123-115 loss to the Suns has left them sitting at 500 for the season. Trae Young, as always, is a beacon. His league-leading 12 assists per game keep the offense alive. But without Jalen Johnson, a critical anchor in their defense, they're faltering. Bogdan Bogdanović brought a spark off the bench with 17 points, his highest since early December, but sparks alone don't light a fire. Here's the rub: Atlanta plays fast, the third highest pace in the league, but their transition defense is suspect, allowing the fourth most fast break points per game. With Johnson likely out, it's open season for Sengun and Green to exploit those gaps. Both teams bring compelling narratives, but one feels like it's building to a crescendo. The Rockets are surging, the Hawks are stalling. Houston's defensive discipline versus Atlanta's frenetic pace, it's a fascinating clash of styles. So, who takes the win? And today's AI pick is the over 233.5 total points. With Houston's offensive firepower and Atlanta's high tempo, expect a game where points light up the scoreboard. There you have it, a prediction rooted in facts and fortified by analysis. Will the Rockets soar higher, or can the Hawks rediscover their rhythm? Only time will tell. Until then, keep your eyes on the court and your wagers wise. On to Game 2.
Two teams at a crossroads meet tonight in Phoenix. The Utah Jazz, reeling from a 9-game home-losing streak, face off against the Phoenix Suns, a squad teetering under the weight of unmet expectations. Let's break this down. The Jazz are coming off a dismal 9-7-92 loss to the Miami Heat. Sloppy doesn't even begin to describe it. 31 combined turnovers, shooting under 40%, in a disjointed defensive effort. Lauri Markkanen managed 23 points but shot just 33.3% from the field. For a guy averaging 51.9% on the season, that's an off night he can't afford to repeat. And let's not forget, Utah is missing 6 key players, including Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, and Keontae George. With Markkanen struggling and the Jazz leading the league in turnovers, their uphill climb against Phoenix looks daunting. Defensively, they're allowing opponents to shoot 47.6% and giving up the 5th most points per game. Those numbers spell trouble. Now, pivot to the Suns. Coming off a 123-115 win over the Atlanta Hawks, Phoenix showed flashes of what they could be. Bradley Beal, finding his rhythm off the bench, scored an efficient 25 points on 11 of 16 shooting. Kevin Durant added 23, and Devin Booker continued his playmaking renaissance with 20 points and 12 assists, even if his 0 for 8 from 3 was less than ideal. Booker's recent form is promising, averaging 10 assists, 21 points, and 5 rebounds over his last 5 games. The Suns are 6th in three-point shooting percentage, but at 2 games under 0.5, they need to string together wins if they hope to avoid a roster shakeup. Here's the kicker: total has gone over in 6 of the last 7 meetings at the Footprint Center between these two teams. With both squads middle of the pack in pace, the over feels like a lock tonight. And today's AI pick is the over 220.5 total points. Expect Beal and Durant to lead the charge while Booker facilitates and Utah struggles to keep pace. So there you have it. The Suns look poised to shine, but the Jazz will need a near-perfect game to stay competitive. Keep your focus sharp and your bets smarter. On to Game 3.
Alright, time to dissect the third matchup of the day. Two Eastern Conference teams, two very different narratives. On one side, the Raptors, struggling to find any semblance of rhythm. On the other, the Pistons, making a steady climb toward relevance. Let's dig in. The Toronto Raptors. Where do we begin? They're sitting at the bottom of the Eastern Conference with an 8-30 record. RJ Barrett has been their bright spot, leading the team with 23.1 points per game. Jakob Poeltl is pulling down 10.5 rebounds per contest, while Scotty Barnes is doing it all, 20.4 points, 8 rebounds, and 6.5 assists per game. But let's not sugarcoat it. Their defense is porous, allowing 119.1 points per game, fourth worst in the league. Offensively, they're just as bleak, ranking 21st with 110.7 points per game, and dead last in three-point shooting. And their recent form? A 1-15 record in their last 16 games. Ouch. Even in their better moments, like the 132-126 loss to Cleveland on Thursday, they're covering spreads, but not winning games. A team lost in transition, literally and figuratively. Now, to the Pistons. Sitting at a balanced 19-19, they're showing signs of life in the playoff race. Cade Cunningham is the engine, averaging 24.3 points and 9.3 assists per game. With Jaden Ivey out due to a broken fibula, Malik Beasley and Tobias Harris are stepping up. Beasley chips in 16.3 points per game, while Harris contributes 13.3 points and 6.4 rebounds. The Pistons' defense is respectable, allowing 113.2 points per game, and dominating the boards by ranking fourth in the league in opponent rebounds allowed. Their three-point shooting is solid too, ranking 14th with 13.5 made threes per game. Recent form? Detroit's on fire, winning 8 of their last 10 games and covering spreads in their last 3 home meetings with Toronto. So, here's the deal. The Raptors' struggles on both ends of the court, and their dismal recent record, make them ripe for the picking. Meanwhile, the Pistons are thriving, even after a close loss to Golden State. This one seems clear-cut. And today's AI pick is Pistons, 4.5. Expect Detroit to capitalize on their home court advantage and dominate this matchup. There you have it. One team surging, the other sinking. Keep your wits sharp and your wagers sharper.